Hello YouTube, this is Frzr 3156 and as you can see I'm playing Crysis 2. I finally got around to installing the DX11 update and the high resolution texture packs for this game, and from what I can tell there's a pretty big difference right away. First let me show you the graphic settings I'm on right now, so people don't cry foul when watching the video. As you can see, I have all the effects turned to ultra, and I have the high res textures on. I'm gonna go to the other video options. As you can see, I have the DX11 enabled, and I'm running at 1080p resolution. Right now, I'm running fraps, and I'm getting on average 25, 35 FPS, 45 FPS. Well, as you can see, the walls, the textures on the walls are pretty. There's a pretty big improvement. Whereas in the original Crysis 2 game, the DX9 settings, the walls were kind of flat and the textures weren't as well, they didn't really pop out per se. Here you can tell the breaks are more defined, they're more detailed. It looks more realistic. The ground clutter, the rubble, the rocks, there's more detail to them. I think that's actually the DX11 tessellation effects coming into play. They're more detailed, again they're more defined, and there's just, I guess, more rocks. What else? Let's just go outside. I want to get outside and check it out. As you can see, the game's running pretty smooth. There's really no slowdown whatsoever. It runs fine inside. I'm wondering how it's gonna run outside. If you haven't watched any of my Grand Theft Auto videos with the Ice Enhancer mods or any other gameplay videos from my YouTube channel, my system is running an i5 2500K, which is overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz using a Hyper 212 Plus cooler, and I have 4 gigabytes of Gskill rip jaws RAM, and I have a MSi GTX 560 Ti twin Frzr 2. It's also overclocked to 1000 megahertz on the core clock and 2100 on the shader clocks, I believe. So it's a pretty decent system. I don't do anything fancy with them like Infinity or SLI, just game on one monitor for now at least. I am planning on SLIing, but for now this will do. I'm outside right now and the game is running pretty smooth. It hasn't dropped below 30 FPS so far. I want to do some shooting first. I have a friend that has a GTX 580, and he told me that when he got up close to a wall and he started shooting at it, he said that the particle effects actually slowed down his computer. Surprisingly, even though he has a GTX 580, so I'm pretty interested to see how my GTX 560 handles it.
Cell are all over downtown
So
looking for you.
I want to go pick up the rifle from someone. Okay. I'll go ahead and kill these guys. So I can figure out how to play the game again. Ah, God. Fail. Whatever. Wow. This is rifle. There it is. Okay, he told me he went, I think he actually showed me. He went over to one of these walls over here. Yeah, right there. Okay. He said just shoot at it and see how your computer handles the particle effects, and I'm pretty interested to see what happens. And yep, there is some slowdown. I just dropped to around 20 FPS. As you can see, the particle effects really do take a toll on the system. Not that bad though. I think he kind of exaggerated the FPS drop. What else can we find? Yeah, the roads, the textures are much better. They're a big improvement over the vanilla Crysis 2, at least. What I mean by vanilla is just Crysis 2 without any graphical improvements made to it whatsoever. Let's go take a look at the water. If you've ever played a game called Just Cause 2, you should know that it's got one of the best water effects in any game out right now. And well, I think it's not bad. Not too impressed by the water, but it's not a really big concern, I guess. The gun looks pretty cool. You can see the lighting on the gun. If I can get up here. Yeah, so far, yeah, you can definitely tell the textures have been vastly improved, which the game really needed, because I remember playing Crysis 2 when it came out and I was really let down by the textures on the wall and the roads. You could definitely tell that they focused on the console versions first, and they didn't really prioritize the PC release at all, which was a big disappointment. But it seems they did a pretty good job on the updates, on the DX11 effects, and on the high-res texture pack. The textures in the game definitely make a big difference. I think it's first would be lighting effects, and second would be texture effects on a game, if you want to measure the graphical prowess of it. Take that. There is some slowdown, but I am recording using fraps at 60 FPS, so which is kind of arbitrary because YouTube doesn't even support anything over 30 FPS. So I mean, whatever though. I wanted to see how it played out, and it's playing out pretty good considering I'm running fraps and I have the whole game maxed out right now. So if you have a system similar to mine, GTX 560, the AMD equivalent would be, I guess, 6950. Either the 1GB version or the 2GB version. I'm not sure about that because I have the 1GB MSi GTX 560. If I remember correctly, the AMD 6950 2GB is slightly better than the GTX 560 Ti. I'm just shooting around. I'm really not, you know, I don't really care if I die. I just want to see the game. No, the smoke is pretty nice. It doesn't look 2D at all. It looks like it's actually got some depth, I guess, to it. I want to see the trees. There's one thing that games try to do to trick you into not really noticing it. They try to make you think they look good, but they really don't. They have like these 2D sprites that every time you turn, it actually turns with you. Not here. It seems the leaves are rendered individually. They seem pretty nice. The branches, the motion blur is a